Our Air Museum got started in 1989. A group of pilots decided they wanted to display their aircraft. Most of them had vintage aircraft, and they needed a venue. So they decided the museum would be the opportunity, and it would provide them also a chance to tell the community about aircraft in general. We went originally from here on our airport in our control tower. Actually, we went from someone's living room. We were fortunate enough to get this location here and started accumulating aircraft, building our volunteer program, which supports the museum. And we have now accumulated approximately 14 aircraft. A couple of them are vintage, most of them are military aircraft. Well, actually, our volunteers start at about age 12, and we go up to age too much. Most of them are members, but you're not required to be a member to be a volunteer here at the museum. And annually we have an air show which calls in excess of 100 volunteers to that air show.
We get the whole gamut, as Don mentioned. We have a program from 12 years old on up till we say till they're too old to come out anymore. So we have a broad range of people and broad range of backgrounds, not even aviation backgrounds, pilots or whatever, but just people interested in aviation that like to come out and work around aircraft. This aircraft is an Ilyushin 14. It's a Russian transport. The checkerboard on the tail is the insignia of the Polish Air Force, and this aircraft was in the Polish Air Force as a VIP transport. Well, this is our F-16 Viper. The F-16 is still in active service, still in active duty with the Air Force. The Navy moved on to a different type of aircraft when they moved Top Gun School up to Fallon, Nevada.
The HU-16 is the Albatross, flown by the Coast Guard in the 50s, 60s, and into the 70s as an air-sea rescue aircraft, able to land on the sea as well as on the land. This particular aircraft has an interesting background, if you will, or history. It was in a park on 19th Avenue in San Francisco. This restoration is done totally by volunteers. It took us about 3 years. The cockpit was full of concrete. All that had to be removed. A lot of the skin had to be replaced. It had deteriorated badly. The museum has been involved in a couple of movie and television shows. Particularly, we were in one of the first episodes of JAG. Our aircraft, the F-14 Tomcat, was used in JAG and has been used a couple of times in other JAG shows since. Back here on the wall behind me, we have an event that occurred some years ago in a movie called The Mad, 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 Mad World. And very close to our museum, a few hundred yards here to our north, is a rather large Quonset hangar that a small twin aircraft was flown through that hangar in the filming of that.
Education involvement, we tried desperately to get the schools to have tours here to our museum, and we have a good success rate with getting children to come in, and we give them about an hour-and-a-half tour of the museum and explain the history of Sonoma County aviation and aviation in general. And we get good feedback from the schools that send their kids here for that. In our members library, we have videos and books, a lot of reference books, and a lot of videos, aircraft aviation videos. And again, that's a members-only operation. Down the road, 10, 15 years from now, we hope to have a world-class museum. We will have a much larger facility, much larger indoor display, and we will be able to display more vintage aircraft. We're looking forward to a major expansion, and that's, our plans are, I say, with our